plate girders. So on plate girders, it is very hard to imagine the load coming on the structures on them.
Will give the sanction as per the drawing which you have done. If it is not correct, then they will suggest you some corrections. Yes, you need to improve your plan. This is wrong, this is wrong, and all that. He will give you all kinds of corrections. Maybe direction, it may be related with the land which you have left or you have kept aside. Now, for a 1,000 square feet area, and if you are interested, you are living in urban area and you are interested to construct that land. So actually, how much side margin you are going to keep? घरामध्ये साइड मार्जिन किती ठेवणार आहात तुम्ही कंपाऊंड साठी? If you have constructed a 1 BHK house, you will keep at least 3 meter from the front side and 1 to 1.5 meter from the sides of that particular room. Correct? So that is the side margin that we require. And at the back portion, that is at the rear margin, we can keep up to 2 meters. Again, that will depend, and the style of construction will change from developer to developer, and again it will depend upon our mentality also. Though government will not permit you to construct a particular shop in the compound area, but still nowadays you can see there are many shops which are being constructed in the compound area. Actually, compound area is reserved only for the parking purpose, and we are utilizing it for the construction of shops. आजकाल आपल्याकडे ते फॅड आहे सध्या. जर कॉर्नरची जागा असेल, कंपाऊंडचा एरिया जास्त आहे, तर त्यामध्ये कंपाऊंडच्या जागेमध्येच गाळे काढले जातात, शॉप्स कन्स्ट्रक्ट केले जातात आणि ते भाड्याने दिले जातात. बट प्लीज रिमेंबर, whatever the space you have kept, that space is only reserved for the parking purpose and not for the construction of shop. You require a proper permission. You need to seek a proper permission for construction of that particular shop. So plan sanctioning, that is the next work that architecture will do. He will take your 1 to 1.5% of the total budget. Whatever the estimated cost of your project, that architecture will take 1 to 1.5 rupees, 1 to 1.5% of the total cost. So if you are able to draw a plan, and if you are having a good contacts, you know whatever the rules and regulations to get the approval, that particular work will completed by us also, that is civil engineers. If you are having any query, you can put it in the chat box. Am I audible? Hello? Hello? If you are having any query, you can put it in the chat box. Am I audible? Hello?
Okay, sir. Continue.
Okay. So, plan sanctioning. Again, this work also we can do. There is no need to go for architecture. We can able to draw the particular plan. आपण plan काढू शकतो, but just recent trade says, no sir, if I am having a land, then definitely I will go for the architecture. Everyone is able to see the slide? Hello? Is everyone able to see the slide which I have shared? Okay. I will share just a minute. I have shared, but I think some network issue there. Just a minute. I will share once again. Okay. Now it is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, chill. So plan sanctioning, we are up to that particular point. Then next is commencement certificate. Now what is commencement certificate? That particular authority will give you permission that you can start your work. That is commencement certificate. In simple words, I can say. You have the permission that you can start your work and you can complete that particular work as per the drawings. Then last step is nothing but getting the work started. So these are the role which has been played by the architecture. Once again, we are civil engineers. We can able to draw a good plan. We can able to get the permission. That is, if we are having the knowledge how to get the permission, we will get the approval for our plan. There is no need to go for the architecture. So here you can save your 1 to 1.5% of the total budget. Okay, what are the cost which has been required? And 1 to 1.5% is a big amount. If you are dealing with the project which is in crores, 10 crore rupees, so 1% it will take a higher amount, correct? So you can save that particular amount also. Next is RCC consultant. Now whatever the permission, that is permission drawings or the plan that you are having, you are going to have that consultant and he will guide you, and he will check whatever the work which is as per the plan, or there is some mishap which is going to happen. Okay, so he will check all the steel design, he will check your all RCC design and whether that is being correct or not, and whether it is going as per the plan or not. He will check that particular thing. So RCC consultant is the next part. Then on-site team, we are having laborers which are being unskilled, skilled laborers, various categories we are having. Then centering contractor, which consists of your carpenter, then fitter, then concreting work, then brickwork and plaster work contractors, other services which includes your painting, firefighting, plumbing, and electrical. Okay, so in this way you can start your work and you can complete it in a good manner. If you are going to follow all the rules and regulations which have been uh, described by our that is state government of Maharashtra. As I said earlier, in the last week only we have revised our rules and regulations for the class D buildings. So our Solapur region, it comes under class for the class D buildings. So there are rules and regulations which have been there. I can share it definitely in the upcoming lecture. Labor rates we have discussed with this. Now these are the labor rates which are slightly get changed with respect to the location. It may be higher in Mumbai, Pune region, but architect will take your 5 to 8 rupees per square feet for the drawing. Then your consultant will take say 4 to 7 rupees. Centering contractor will take 80 to 150 rupees. Carpenter 50 to 60 rupees per square feet. Then fitter 15 to 25 rupees per square feet. Then tiling, electrical work, that is per point it is been based on. So you should know all the labor rates. Now again for this year, our SSR will be there, which will come in the month of the second week of July maybe. And from PWD official website, you can download that SSR, or I will share that SSR. Now we are using SSR, which is for year 1920, old SSR, that is state schedule of rate, where rates of all the material that is been there in that particular. So RCC work, one major factor which you are dealing while working on the site is nothing but, sir, actually RCC work, and actually what is meant by this word site execution. You are civil engineers and most of the students are interested in execution work only. No interest in design and nothing but they are interested just in execution work. Now, what are the categories or what are the different work that we are going to follow while working on the site? Now, office work, it includes your planning, that is preparation of your drawings, permission drawings, getting approval, then preparation of your activity. As I said, schedule we have to prepare for each day, that is daily project report we should have and detailed project report. 2 DPRs we should have the knowledge about it. Then estimation and costing. So this is comes under the category of office work. Now on-site work, once again I am repeating, your work will start with the marking of the distances that we called it as line out. त्याला आपण line out म्हणतो, line out टाकणे. ठीक आहे. तुमच्याकडे open land आहे, you have cleared your site, that we called it as site clearance, and after site clearance you are starting your work with the line out by using total station. So if you have the good knowledge about how to use the total station, you can start your work. If not, you can take a surveyor. He will expert in total using total station, and he will give you some guidelines regarding the line. After that, second work is nothing but marking of excavation line and railing formation. Now stepwise we are discussing this. That is our second step. Marking of excavation line. So what category of the excavation you are interested to do? That is as per our site conditions. It may be your deep foundation, it may be your shallow foundation. So what type of foundation you are going to provide, and for that foundation, what category of the excavation, what is the quantity of excavation, then which instrument I have to use for my excavation, that you are going to discuss. After marking of excavation line, you will go for the PCC, that is the first bed, we called it as PCC bed, on which your footing will rest. Now it is not mandatory that everywhere you are going to put, yes, but in most of the site, residential building construction or in commercial buildings also, if you don't have the hard strata, then at whatever the excavation you have done, you are going to put a You are at first you are going to compact that soil, and then after you are going for the PCC bed. So after the PCC bed, you are going to start your footing work. That is the next step for the RCC work construction. After footing, you are going for the pedestal column. That is from the bottom portion of that particular excavated part to the um, largest, that is the highest point for that particular room. So you are going to start construction of the columns. After column, we are having the ground beams that we called it as plinth beams. So plinth beam, you are going to start your work. Then again on the plinth beam, nowadays there is fashion of providing the grade slab. Is anyone is aware about the grade slab systems? What is grade slab? Have you heard this word before this? I think no, because that fashion is not adopted in Maharashtra. Okay, but nowadays we are shifting toward that particular style of construction, casting of grade slabs. Now, what is grade slab? Grade slab is nothing but that technique in which, after filling the plinth, that is with the murum or PCC layer, what we are generally doing for the plinth filling, we are having the murum layer, we are having the plinth, that is concrete layer, correct? 0.6 meters the height आहे तुमच्या there filling ची, plinth filling ची. Generally 0.6 to 1 meter तुमची height असणार आहे plinth filling. So if the plinth filling is of 0.6 meter, what you are going to do? At first you are going to do rubber soling. After rubber soling, you are having murum filling, and on that you are having PCC, correct? But nowadays, to improve that also, plinth filling structure, what we are going to do? We are going to cast a slab at the plinth level. We are going to cast a slab at the plinth level. So that is the new technique now we are going to adopt. And that particular slab which we are going to cast at the plinth level, we called it as a grade slab. Now everyone is aware about this. What is grade slab? Grade slab is nothing but that particular slab which we are going to cast at the plinth level. Okay, so at the plinth level, you are going to say, oh, sir, this is slab structure which is in there. And on that slab structure, you are going to make your tile work and all that. But grade slab, it's the new fashion that has been adopted. Okay, so you can do that also after plinth beam PCC bed is there. After that, you are going to complete the work of column lift, that is from plinth. First column is from footing portion to the plinth level. Okay, that is the first portion of the column. And second portion from plinth level to the directly up to the height of floor level. That is whatever the floor height we are having, up to that we can construct it. You can do that work in single stroke also. There is no need, no sir. Today I have casted a column of at least 1 meter height, and tomorrow I am going to cast 2 meter height column. It should not going to happen in a day. Okay. Otherwise, there will be no bonding between the concrete and your column will fail within few days. For that, you need to acquire that knowledge. So it's better to go for a column construction in a single day, one column at one point, one stroke. Okay, so you can do that also. So column construction style is basically from plinth, that is from footing to plinth, then plinth to up to floor level. After that, construction of the staircase, if any, if it is there, it may be dog leg, it may be your open level, it may be any category. Style of your staircase. Then slab and top and bottom portion of the chhajja. So slab construction you are going to go for. After that, after slab we are having overhead water tank, that is OHWT, and underground water tank, that is UGWT. After that, if there is any retaining wall, if any, you can go for that particular construction. Then ramp and staircase or differently. Okay, so that is the basic sequence, general sequence we are going to follow whenever you are going to work on the site. Please remember this. You can take the screenshot also, and at the end of this chapter I will share this PPTs also with everyone. So please remember this sequence. With this sequence, if you know the sequence, how to construct, how to complete the construction work only, then you can easily survive on the site. Next is documentation. I'm just repeating the same part of the previous lecture just to brush up your knowledge once again. So for the documentation, whatever the concern corporation, it may be Panchayat Samiti, Gram Panchayat, Jilla Parishad, Nagar Parishad, it may be Nagar Palika, Mahanagar Palika, whatever the corporation you are having, whatever the government authority you are having, or we need to submit our documents over there. Then rural development authorities, or it may be urban development authorities, then town planning department we are having. So preparation of these files into the 3 stages. So you are concerning with many different agencies in your future. It may be PWD, it may be MJP, it may be NHI, it may be irrigation department, it may be any government sector. MMRDA, it may be Pune Zilla Parishad, it may be Pune Municipal Corporation. So always remember, we have to prepare our documentation and we have to submit that into 3 stages, basically 3 to 4 stages. So what are that particular steps? First is nothing but your commencement certificate. Next is your plinth checking. So after commencement certificate, you are going to start your work. After you are going to start your work up to the part of plinth level, that particular consultant or that concerned authorities will come. They will check your work up to the plinth level. See, whatever the bill which has been sanctioned, that bill is not sanctioned in one stroke only. Yeah? It has been sanctioned in different steps. The first installment you are getting after completion of plinth level work. Okay. पहिलं जे बिल तुम्हाला भेटत असतं तुमच्या कामाचं ते प्लिंथ लेवल झाल्यावरतीच भेटत असतं. प्लिंथ पर्यंतचं काम झालं पाहिजे आपलं प्लिंथ चेकिंग पर्यंत. After that you will get your first installment for your work. Then completion and position letter. After plinth you are having superstructure part. So complete it and then you position letter that is being given by you to the customer or to the party which is in front of you. So that is the sequence that we must have the knowledge about. Now we are going to start with the next part of our unit, that is specifications. Now what are the specifications? As we have discussed in our previous lecture, a specification is what? A specification is nothing but a description of a particular item or a work activity which has been related with that particular construction. So specification is nothing but a detailed description of activity, detailed description of the material, detailed description of the item which you are going to complete it for that particular construction. That is nothing but the specification. Now, what is the actual purpose of this word specification? Generally, the cost of unit quantity of work is governed by its specification. So, whatever the quantity of work you are going to do, suppose you have completed excavation. I will just take the example, or our site clearance that is been counted in lump sum. So, for clearing the site, how much amount you require for that particular work, and what is the description for that particular activity? Site clearance that is been mentioned in your state schedule of rate, that is SSR, and the rate for that same work, same activity is been also mentioned. So once again, remember the first purpose. We know the cost of unit quantity of work. That is, suppose I have excavated 10 meter cube of soil. Just take an example. I have excavated only 10 meter cube of soil. So for 1 meter cube of soil, what is my rate? That is where I'm going to get this particular cost or rate, unit rate for that particular activity. It is been prescribed in my SSR, state schedule of rates. Now, this excavation of 10 meter cube, what I'm going to do in my Excel sheet, I'm going to describe this activity. So for excavation, I have made I have excavated a soil up to a depth of suppose 4 meters. I have excavated a soil up to a depth of 2 meters. I am using JCB. I am using manpower. So whatever the description that we are going to specify, the description for that activity is nothing but your specification. Okay, clear? I hope it is clear to you. So if you are having any doubt, you can put it in the chat box. Then a work is carried out according to its specification and the contractor is paid for the same. Any change in the specification changes the tender rate. Now once again, please remember why specification is required and why it is important. Because whatever the construction which is going to occur on the site, it is always with respect to the specifications. And your contractor is paid for the same. That means if I'm a contractor and you have given me the work, yes sir, you have to construct this particular land. We are having 1000 square feet land and you are going to construct it. So for construction of 1000 square feet land, I have prepared my measurement sheet. I know the specification. I have described one activity. Sir, for excavation, I am using JCB. So what I have written? I have written I am using JCB. That is my description for the specific excavation activity. But if I have used manpower, whether my specification is correct? No. I have specified that I'm using JCB and now I'm using manpower. So that is wrong. So that work is always carried out with respect to the specification, and the contractor to whom or that is particular person is paid for the same. Any change in the specification will change the tender rate. क्या सर आपने बोला था हमको कि आप जेसीबी से एक्सकैवेशन करने वाले हैं और अभी आप मैन पावर से एक्सकैवेशन कर रहे हैं, लेबर ले रहे और लेबर के हाथों से एक्सकैवेशन कर रहे, तो जेसीबी के लिए आपने 1600 रुपए लिए थे मुझसे और अभी आप लोगों का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, तो whether I am going to get the same amount? No, because I have changed the specification. So that is not the correct method. Your work should get executed with respect to specifications only. Whatever the specifications you are having, with respect to that only you have to complete your work. The next, the necessity of specification is to verify and check the strength of materials for a work which is involved in a project. Once again, I'm repeating, this necessity of specification is to verify and check the strength of materials for the work which is involved in that project. So always, because of the specification, we'll come to know what is the strength of that particular material. That is the quality assessment we can do with respect to the specification. Whatever the specification which is being mentioned, you need to follow that specification only, being an engineer. Otherwise, specification is one and you are completing your work with respect to different specification. That is not going to happen. And don't do that also. That will take you down, okay, while working on the site. So with respect to specification only, you have to work it and you have to complete your work. Next is specification is an essential contract document and is required for the arbitration or the court cases. As I said earlier, if you have done wrong, that is your specification you have mentioned is something and you have done something with different specification, then that particular customer will take you into the court also. He is having all the rights. So specification is nothing but the essential, very essential document. Then specification, these are necessary to specify the equipments. Of course, that is being clearly mentioned in your specification. The tools and the plans which is to be engaged for the work and thus enables to procure them beforehand. Okay. So illegal use, we can restrict it. Then being an engineer, we should follow all the specifications, always remember. Okay. So we'll heading towards the next part. Now, what are the principles of specification? Actually, on this particular part, you will get one question. What are the different principles that you need to follow for the specification? So, principles of the specification, the first principle that includes is nothing but description of the materials. I will discuss this. The quality and size of materials required to do an item of the work shall be fully described for checking up at site according to the bindings provided in the specification. So that is the first principle that you need to understand, description of the material. How it has been there? That is helpful for you to assess the quality and size of material to do the work which is fully described and for checking up at the site. Site or to check घेतलं जातं. You have specified, sir, I am using Ultratric cement of 53 grade and you have used JK Super Cement of 43 grade. Whether you have used correct specifications? No. At the time of filling the tender, you have specified that I am going to use Ultratric 53 grade of cement and now you are using JK Super Cement of 43 grade. So that is not the correct way. So description of material, the first principle that will help you to check the quality as well as the size of material which are you correctly described, and it will help you in checking up the site. Then workmanship, complete description of the workmanship. Workmanship is nothing but quantity and quality of the labors. Whether you are having skilled labors, whether you are having unskilled labors, whether you are having semi-skilled labors, then how many male workers, how many female workers, then what is their specialty. Somebody is very special in plastering work, somebody is special in centering work, somebody is special in brick work, somebody is doing special in doing concreting. So complete description of the workmanship, the method of mixing of proportion, then method of laying, preparation of base, subbase. So what are the construction activities actually we are doing? We need to specify it with respect to the item of the work, and that is being clearly stated. Okay. So workmanship. Next principle is nothing but the tools and plants. So whatever the tools and plants to be engaged to carry out the work, that particular tools and plants should be clearly specified in your particular uh, tender notice, tender that you are going to fill it, or in your particular abstract and measurement sheet. Okay. So tools and plant, we need to specify it correctly. Then protection of new work. Suppose there is any new work, the method of protection of the new work against the damage, and the method of curing, if required, if necessary, shall be described in the separate clauses. Then expression. One more thing. While writing the specification in your, it shall be made to express the requirement of the specifications clearly and in concise form to avoid repetition and unusual words. So always remember your specifications are very clear and it should be in concise form. Concise म्हणजे काय म्हटलं जाईल त्याला? कन्साइज म्हणजे एकदम तंत्रशुद्ध पद्धतीने त्याचे आराखडा केलेला असतो, त्याची मांडणी केलेली असते स्पेसिफिकेशनची. खूप काही भरमसाठ निबंध सारखं लिहिलेलं नसतं. स्पेसिफिकेशन it is just been written in just 3 to 4 lines only, not descriptive, just 3 to 4 lines only, and that is being clear and it is concise also. ठीक आहे, it is very clear. ऍक्च्युअली तुम्हाला काय सांगायचं त्या ऍक्टिव्हिटीतून हे त्या शब्दामध्ये दिलेलं असणार आहे तुमच्या. ठीक आहे, so that is been prescribed. Then clauses for the specifications. So as far as possible, the clauses should be arranged in order in which the work should be carried out. Basically, we have to follow this sequence. As I said earlier, marking of line, that is the first work. Then marking of the excavation line. Then you are going for the PCC, then column, then PCC, then footing to column to plinth area, that is plinth beam, then beam, slab, then your whatever the plastering, painting, then you are going to do the color or painting. So what are the sequence which you are going to follow while working on the site? That sequence you need to follow. Okay, so that is nothing but the next principle of the specification. One more thing, if the meeting ends in less than 1 minute, you should rejoin it very fast. I will send that link once again. I think it's a recurring meeting, so the time span is very restricted. If the meeting ends, you should again rejoin it. Okay, so that is my request to everyone. Rejoin it very fast if the meeting ends. So next thing that we are going to learn, what is the important part from your syllabus point of view is considered. That is nothing but the what are the different types of the specifications. Basically, there are two types of specifications. The first category of the specification we called it as general specification, and second category we called it as the detailed specification. So these are the two important